In this video, what I'm going to do is we're going to go through all this raw from Dawn in her kitchen, or at least most of it anyway, and I'm going to be putting together sequences of wide, medium, and tight, and it's certainly going to be more than 3 shots. We're going to go back and forth and kind of see how long we can make this sequence and keep it interesting. So here we go. And also to note, as we go here, as I'm slowly scrubbing through, you see, well, wait a minute. It's vertical video, but yet it's framed horizontal. Sometimes that happens when you shoot on smartphones, and right now, for some reason, when I took this file off my iPhone, it's a bit confused. It's orientated it vertically, but of course it is still framed horizontally. What you do here, I'm going to choose a quick random selection of that, hitting I for in, O for out, and then dumping it into my timeline with a keyboard shortcut here. If I highlight on it here in Final Cut, I can come over here to rotation. Rotation, in most programs, there is a transform menu, no matter if it's Final Cut, Adobe Premiere Pro in the Creative Cloud, Avid or Edius. Find the transform menu and you'll always find these basic elements. Position, which is where the frame lives, don't worry about that. Rotation, this is what we want because right now it's on its side. And I wonder if I type in here 90 degrees, excellent. So if I type in 90 degrees, it orientates correctly. And then to get this to fill the frame, all I have to do is scale up. Now I have 3 options. Y, X, and all. You want all because it's going to do it in proportion, and you want to do it to fill up that black. Now, how do I know that I really filled up the screen? I'm going to zoom out on this whole window coming up here, go from 55 to 50, so there's my natural frame border. I'm going to hit this square, which is the scale square, and now I see the border of the actual footage spills out of the frame, which is actually really good. So I may try 180 here. Ooh, that looks good. Yeah. You can see it's a fine line up there bleeding, and around there, we're good. Now this is 4K footage, which means I can zoom in roughly, about 180% to 200%, double the percentage of HD footage. If you're shooting HD footage, still try to scale it. You may be tricking the computer and getting the regular resolution. If you shoot in a regular horizontal and you zoom in, when you're zooming in, you're actually going to be making the small individual pixels larger, and it's gonna look a lot grainier than your other footage. So anytime that you scale like this, you're gonna want to preview it to double check. And right now, we're good. We'll blow it up to full screen here, and we're gonna come back and play it sort of from the beginning there. Yeah, this is regular resolution. You can't tell it's pixelated. We're good there. All right, so let's do this for real now. All right, so I'm gonna come back up here to this clip and we're gonna slowly scrub for Dawn. In fact, we may play here in real time for a couple of seconds. Yeah, because this single clip is about 10 minutes long from here to here. Yeah. Cool. So we've got that, and she's saying it, which is beautiful. She's introducing the purpose of the video for us. So again, we're going to rotate that real quick. We know our scale all is already 180 because we did that. I hit done up here so that wireframe goes away and everything looks like normal. I'm going to come in here to this bar and zoom in on it using Command plus on the keyboard. Again, that's a Final Cut shortcut. I believe on Premiere, it's either going to be Control plus to zoom in on the timeline or just the plus key. Both those combinations zoom in on things in Premiere. It's just a question of what it zooms in on, and that I need to be reminded of. All right, our preview here is going to catch up. You can hear my fan buzzing here on my laptop, trying to figure out what's going on. So once this preview finishes, we will resume. All right, excellent. So again, we've got Dawn's wide here. And then if we're just gonna keep scrolling here, we've got the cutaway, a film cinematic foreshadow, if you will, of what's to come. Cool. All right, and that's a good cutaway too if I zoom in here on the timeline when she's talking. When she says beef, I can slide this over here. And again, in Premiere, you're gonna see different tracks. You'll see actual lines that separate your tracks, which that is more convenient than here in Final Cut. Final Cut Pro 10 is a little bit different of a way of thinking of editing than Premiere or Sony Vegas or Avid or Edius. Too much to explain now, and believe me, you want to learn the Premiere way of doing things first. That way will be the way that you mainly use in your career. So we will play this again. Awesome. Cool. I'm going to turn her audio down. We're going to drag her out here. We're going to highlight this clip, come into rotation, hit 90 again. We're going to have to hit 180 for all this stuff. And there we go. Cool. All right. Here and here. Excellent. So now I want her chopping. I want tights. I want fun stuff. I could come back out wide because we've got her here on the medium wide. We've got a nice, this is still a medium shot, but the angle is so different, showing you something completely different from her point of view. It works. And I want something that we haven't seen yet, but that also advances the story, advances our action. And that, my friends, is going to be chopping. I'm going to zoom out here a little bit just in the hopes that this fills up faster. This is doing two things at once. This is, one, recording this whole process as well as running a video editing program. That, she's still talking. Oh, that's right, she pours the rice first. All right. Yeah, I don't want to show this yet because we're on the chopping block. We're not over the stove. So that's dictating the way in which I actually edit this stuff. So the order that we're going to see it edited is going to be a little different than the order it actually happened. And that's okay. As long as this is journalistically accurate, it is still very much ethical. Dawn is still making dinner. She's still making it with all the same ingredients. Journalistically, we didn't go and, for example, let's say that we forgot to get her chopping the carrots here. We didn't go to our kitchen on our lunch break or the station kitchen and all of a sudden start chopping carrots pretending it was her. That's insanely a big news no-no. That is one of the most unethical things that you can do. That is what you call the reenactment footage you guys sometimes see in documentaries and usually labeled as so. In that context, for that purpose, it's totally okay. In a daily news context, it is a very, very much not. You can be seriously reprimanded for doing something like that. All right. I care that she's washing. Like, I have it, but I don't care about it. We're actually going to probably leave that out. Let's see. It is a good shot, though. I will admit that. All right. Yes, carrot peeling. What does she do here? Yeah. Whoa, if I stop shaking the camera. Cool. All right. So we're going to put that on the timeline. I'm also now gonna look, this is my audio track. It's really, really quiet. And then I think this is where she starts talking. Let's make sure. Yeah, all right. I want it before she starts talking because I don't really care right now about what she's saying. I'm going to bring that audio up here and nothing is peeking into the red. If I play it back, the gnats of that peeler should be louder. They are. Awesome. And I can show you too if I show you on the VU meter here. Yeah, they're still pretty quiet, but they're louder than what they were. There are ways that we could make that even louder. We're not going to go through that in this tutorial, but just know that we can absolutely do it. All right, we're going to click on that. We're going to rotate the full 90 degrees. We're going to zoom in 180. Again, a great time to remind you, definitely look at the pixelation, because if your video is being pixelated as you zoom in on it, you can't use it. It's going to look really, really bad. All right, let's see how well that looks. Whoa, there's a huge camera shake there. So I want to change the edit to there to get rid of that. Cool. Now, the great part about this is we have action reaction shots of this whole peeling process. We have the carrot, but we also have the, what do you call these? Carrot shavings? I'm not sure. I'm not a chef. We've got this shot, yeah, and then the peeler even comes into the frame. Oh, that's cool. Beautiful. So we will lay that in here, play it back. And now, wow, I'm going to let that play through again. That may actually work. Yeah. So as the peeler goes out of frame, or actually it doesn't, but that's okay. Shreds, comes back up, and there's enough of a delay before we see it again. The mind believes that it went down the length of the carrot in terms of the timing of it. These are a little bit of advanced techniques when you're sequencing. It's called matched action, where we want, with the cuts, for you as a human to believe that enough time has passed for the next action to have naturally happened. For this class, that's pretty advanced, but it will be something I guarantee you that as you do more of this, you will naturally think about. It takes far longer to explain than it ever does to actually do in the real world. Cool, let's see if we can't come out to the carrot here. Yeah, we've got some good stuff here. Yeah, let's... Cool, and then I didn't exactly want it there, but we'll move it there. Let's just see what this looks like. Whoa. Is that really... Oh, okay. That really is sort of stuttering a little bit there. All right. I want it to start there. Cool. All right, so both of these clips, if I highlight them both, when I go and hit rotation to 90 and zooming into 180, it should do it to both clips at once, and it does, because this in Final Cut is the render bar showing what does the computer have to process now because we've changed something. And as it does that, that dashed line is going to start to disappear. In Premiere, it is a red line, and when something is rendered, that red line turns green. All right. Now we may see here a little bit of a hiccup in our sequencing. Yeah, I see it, but the average, yeah. The average viewer wouldn't have noticed that. I wonder if I can play with that a little bit more. Yeah, that's believable. Just triple checking. Yeah. Cool, all right. It pays to be a geek. Rock on. All right, now we've been in so close. Let's see if we can't get, a good in focus shot, good medium wide of Dawn doing this. Wait, she's done. Hang on. Ooh, cool. She's in focus. Did we catch it in time? We may not have. I'm just double checking that. She's blurry. Yeah, it's not exactly worth it. Yeah, there's nothing important going on in this shot. All right. So, how did this end? So we see a carrot, we see a peeler. So we know that her hands are in motion. All right. I need her face. Do I have her face anywhere? Because here, she's slicing and chopping the carrots, which is great video. The sequencing on that is shot well. What I don't have is a shot of her face to transition from seeing the carrot in the peeler to this. There we go. If I go from the carrot in her hand to all of a sudden that carrot or a carrot on the table that's already mostly cut, your mind thinks, wow, when did that happen? How did we get there so quickly? Well, we didn't. So we need a shot in between that has nothing to do with this to bridge that gap, so to speak. And I think we may actually have it here. Hang on. No. At least I thought we might have it. All right, what about up here? This preview's pretty accurate.
All right, so carrots are done.
Oh, it is her full body. Hang on, let's ride this shot out. Let's watch this, because we're looking for something pretty specific now. Oh, so I go right in for the lime. There's gotta be, oh, I can see it coming up here. I'm gonna let this play through so you get to see the lime being cut. Okay, I think I saved myself here coming up. All right. Okay, I think that might be able to be what we need. I'm gonna bring her audio down on this because we don't need it right now. What does this look like? And what you could do. I'm gonna come back a couple of frames. This is geeky. I shouldn't even be showing this to you guys because this is just showing us how cool things can be. Watch at the end of this shot how the peeler, her arm, her hand is naturally shaking off that carrot shred. Cool. Here's what I saw. And here's what you can look forward to in your very, very illustrious career. Her shoulder here is going to shake too, so it's actually mimicking what she's doing in this shot, as if she's doing more of it and then walking away. That's okay. That's cool. We can use that. So we'll do that. We'll make that 180, and we'll let that render. Okay. Now, as that's rendering, yeah, I can cut away from this. I don't need to see her go all the way to her counter, as long as the next shot I use is a tight shot or a shot that does not have her in it. So if she's entering frame in the next shot, that's cool. Otherwise, like for example, if she was in the next shot, I would have to explain to you visually how in the world she got there. We don't have any of those shots. This was not shot in that way because it takes like 2 or 3 seconds to get from the cutting board to the stove. And as you've seen in this raw, that's not interesting video. It doesn't matter. It's the action, it's the end game, what she's actually doing that matters. So this may be a good time to use this steaming, boiling pot of rice. Yeah. Oh, steam always looks good on camera. And it's also a transition shot too. So as we've been chopping carrots, this other thing has been going on the entire time, which is cool. So we're just gonna use a couple of seconds of that because there's not a whole lot going on. We're just establishing here's something else in the kitchen. This is also being made. And then we'll shorten that a little bit and we will move on to the next shot. I can do a couple of things here. I can go in for the tight shot if I really want to. Yeah, and let the fog come over the lens. And I'm going to let that lay over this because I'm adding to the shot. Yeah, and then once the camera fogs, like, you gotta leave the shot. Once the effect takes place, the coolness, if you will, of the shot is over. Now, I can leave it here, and Final Cut will always, and any editor will do this, the clip that is topmost, or on top, that is the clip that plays in your viewer TV always on the right side. In Premiere, you guys may see a viewer on the left side. This is gonna be you scrubbing through your footage, what you're seeing here on the left. This window for me in Final Cut Pro doubles as both, so it can be confusing. If I'm here scrubbing through footage, it conveniently shows me. If I'm here in the timeline, it's showing me what would actually show up on air. Most editors have two different windows, one on the right, one on the left here. Well, here's the left, here's the right. And that's a standard configuration in Premiere, Avid, Edius, and many other programs. So again, I can leave this here if you're watching. There's our medium, there's our tight, or if I really wanted to, I could shorten that and we get the exact same effect. Awesome. Let's get these rendering at 90 degrees and 180. Oh, and look at that. Oh, her head was going in that direction too as we go slow. Oh, she's looking at the pot. Oh, yeah. That's being really lucky in what you're cutting. Again, these are things the viewer hardly ever sees, but sometimes subconsciously, naturally, these things are seen. And when you look at something or you've seen a news piece or a movie and you say, wow, that was easy to watch. I can't explain why. It just makes sense. These are a few of those subtle things that make it that way. When you're doing a daily news piece, when maybe you only have an hour to edit, you are by no means worrying about anything this detailed. This will be for the stuff that you do as passion projects on your own time or after news hours that you may be getting overtime for, things like that. All right, so we've seen that. What else? I want to sort of get on the back end of this sequence here. I want to start sort of rushing the sequence, if you will, getting lots of different shots here because I don't want to make this sequence too long for you guys. This is a tutorial that we hope you watch a second and a third time just to review. So in order to entice you guys to do that, I got to make it interesting. Got to keep it moving. So I don't care that she's cutting this. In a longer sequence, I totally could. What I want to know is this is the meat pan, which is different than our rice pan. If I've got a shot where, yeah, she's putting the oil in the meat pan, we know that. But what does it look like where she's just gonna drop the meat in? What does that look like? Let's see. So camera steady, the bag comes in. Yeah. Yeah, I know what I'm thinking. All right, so we know that we're definitely going to use that shot. I'm going to move my play header here to the end of this clip. So I'm going to move that into there. What I would like, I don't need it, but I want it because it's going to make it easier for the viewer to understand. I want a shot in between our fogging up camera right shot here and this shot. I want Dawn's face again. So to do that, I know I've got to scroll down and scroll down far to find that. I know I shot one. I just gotta wait for the computer to catch up. And again, this is all of the tight footage we've got of her putting the pepper in, and now the carrots are also in, and she's gonna stir them up. I just need a shot of her from the shoulder on up to bridge this gap. You could jump from tight to tight because, again, they are different pots. This is just a neat, teachable moment to where I can show you that a cutaway from a completely different portion of this shoot can actually act to save me. And this may be what we're looking for. All right, she's stirring. All right. This is interesting. I have her from the chest up, and you see this arm stirring, and that is now dictating what is possible and not possible for me to use. Because she is stirring, I can't use a shot of her placing meat in. It's a different motion for the shoulder, and anybody watching, they may not sort of realize that it's a different motion, but something's going to go on in their mind where they're thinking, wait a minute, this doesn't quite make sense. So, to avoid that, we are going to delete the shot of the meat going in. We are going to cut to that shot of Dawn, kind of hang there a little bit, and then come back up and get a shot of her stirring the meat. So we're going to completely jump the sequence, which you can do. This is, you can make a sequence as long or as short as you want to. It all will depend upon how much video you have. For most news pieces you guys shoot, you're never going to have this much video. We really overshot this. So let's see how this works. She's looking up, she's looking down. Hang on. Cool, I can actually cut it before she looks up. She's probably looking at the GoPro camera. Boom. Yeah, oh, that cuts like butter. And I'm gonna end the shot before she puts the spatula down. All right, what can we do now? You know what? We can actually, if we wanted to, cut back to her. Did she do anything fun? Yeah, she taps and moves over. Yeah, and now let's watch it from back here again so you can sort of see what I'm thinking. Cool, and what's so beautiful too is for some reason, by the time we get to this point in the footage, the iPhone has oriented things correctly, so we no longer have to rotate or scale, which, boy, is that a beautiful thing. So we're gonna keep scrolling down. Oh, what can we do? We can do yogurt into the bowl. Yeah, because I think this is her making the cilantro. The yogurt goes into the bowl. Yeah, and then this is the cilantro bag. Okay, she's gonna cut that with the scissors. It's a cool shot, but am I tight enough? Yeah. All right, we're gonna do this as a couple shot sequence here. All right. So I want sort of the swing of the scissors. She's gonna cut the bag. I'm gonna dump that into the timeline. We will tweak this in a hot second here. I wanna jump to this tight shot of the yogurt. and get the pouring of the cilantro sauce in. Yeah, and that is in focus. Holy cow, is that sharp. All right, we're gonna dump that in here. So now, this does not cut. But, I'm gonna show you what we do to get out of it. So you see here, how, okay, she's looking down, so obviously we're cooking. She's reading something. She's not looking down at herself cutting this yet. Why? Because we see, look at that hand in the bottom left-hand corner. She just put it down. Well, she's gonna, yeah, to put it on the table again. She didn't, in this fraction of a second, have nothing in her hand, move her hand down, ninja swing it up, have an already prepared, meaning open, pair of scissors ready to slice this bag. The action is happening too quickly here, obviously. But if we scroll up here into our raw, I'm pretty sure we have a cutaway. And this is the true definition of a cutaway, is getting an extra shot that happens to be of something that has nothing to do in terms of the action of our main sequence here. It's not the meat, it's not the carrots, it's not Dawn herself, it's the actual recipe. So in theme, it is very much germane. It's exactly what we want. It is on topic. It just doesn't have to do with these other shots. We can cut to it as a brief break, if you will, and that's gonna help us bridge these couple of shots. All right, so we're gonna take that, lay it into the timeline. You're gonna see me drag these over here. Let's just see what it looks like to see if there's any tweaking needed. Yeah, the only tweaking needed is we're just gonna actually shorten it. If you guys showed up with a sequence like this in class, you would see me jump out of my chair in jubilation. This would be incredible. Here though, because we got a little bit of time, I'm gonna show you guys how to make this really tight, really move, some quick pacing here. All right, so we see Dawn, she's looking over, reading, boom, what's she reading? She's reading that, and then this should time out pretty well. Let's see what it looks like. Cool, we can shorten this a little bit. I just need the scissors to leave, shorten that, and hopefully there's a little bit of a pause here. If not, we'll put it in. Cutting, scissors leave. Yeah, that cuts well. So she's cutting, the scissors leave. Because this angle is so different than this angle, and of course there's no green in the shot yet, your brain believes, yeah, she had enough time to put the scissors down and turn that packet upside down as the cilantro seasoning and paste falls into the bowl. And we'll watch that again now that you know what I'm thinking of. Cool. All right, here we need to shorten our cilantro falling shot there. Cool. All right. What's cool is we get to hang on this shot a little bit longer because the shot in itself, things are moving in it. It's like water. You know, it's like if you were shooting an ocean or a waterfall, it's as the water hits, it's moving, and that's just naturally interesting. Cool. All right, so we've got that. We have really cool shots of her mixing this. Now, we can't cut to that shot yet, and I will explain to you why once we get there. In fact, I'm gonna show you an edit that beginners would make that wouldn't be good. The growth that they've shown in getting the shot is great. It will be the editing to where I would have, in an advanced class, marked them down a little bit. All right, so again, oh man, I got to decide on a shot, stay steady, and just get it. What am I doing? Hang on here. Let's watch that again. Cool. All right, I've got enough there to where I can edit around me moving the camera. There's enough of a shot there. Yeah, ring, 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 boom, cool. But as you see there, don't be like me in this particular moment where I need to be hanging on this shot for 3 or 4 more seconds and not moving the camera. Because I happen to have so much experience, I know how to really drill down this yellow frame section. That is this clip. That's the only usable part of probably from here to here. I can just so happen to be able to be lucky and get away with that. You guys probably won't be able to. So you want to hold your shots. Again, a shot like this, hold it for 5 or 6 seconds. The reason why I'm not saying 10 in this particular moment is because Dawn is going to do things quicker than 10 seconds, and you're going to want to follow most of what she's doing. All right, so let's edit this the wrong way, so to speak. Watch what this looks like. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Watch the jump cut. Wait a minute. It's the same kind of shot. It's a beautiful tight shot in both. But how did we get from unmixed to mixed? Well, we didn't. It was just I put 2 cool shots together with no visual transition. So let's look at our options here. We're actually going to have very few options. Even if I go to her hand, unless I see her hand starting to do it. Hang on here. I can tell you right now that's not going to work, and I'm going to show you why. Make that, do that, do that. It's an improvement, but it's still not quite movie magic. Let's move it over actually a little bit. We'll linger on that shot a bit longer. All right. Andrew is at a crossroads here. What does he want to teach you? To do it the right way or the way you could get away with? Because the motion is so fast, we go from the tight shot of this bowl to this shot. And because her hand is the most dominant thing in the frame, and conveniently right now covers most of the bowl, as we move forward in slow motion to show you, you can tell if you look closely that we've already started mixing because you see the mixture of the bowl. So it's a bit of a tell, if you will, or a kind of reveal behind the scenes. And I technically don't like that. But when we play it again in real time, even with you now looking for it, see if you can catch it. It's still not easy to catch. Yeah, I do because I just see it as a huge mistake. If I was tight under deadline, I'd probably just keep editing my next shots. If I had a little bit of time when I was done editing the package to come back and find a different shot to replace this shot or put between this shot and this shot, I would do it. But in the interest of making deadline, which that's the ultimate goal, you have to meet deadline, I would do that. With saying that, I'm actually, because we're teaching here, gonna look for a shot of Dawn here, which, oh wow, cool, that actually happens to be right by this. Hit in, and I'm just gonna see what I got.
Just trying to make sure it's mixed well so I don't see like any.
Oh yeah, and she's got good audio there too. Again, this is a simple sequence that we're editing. I'm not editing a natural sound package or a in her own words package.
Just trying to make sure it's mixed.
But what I like is that she's saying that. So I'm gonna bring this audio up for you just to enjoy, because it's exactly on point to what we're talking about. She's talking about mixing.
Just trying to make sure.
Wait a minute, hang on here. I cut that wrong, because we want to.
Just trying to make sure it's mixed well.
All right, I actually want to cut out that. No, I don't. It's fine. I'm being too Spielberg about this.
Just trying to make sure it's mixed well so I don't see like any.
Cool.
Just trying to make sure it's mixed well so I don't see like any.
The clanging of this shot doesn't quite add up to this shot, but that's... I've cut these sequences like that all day long, because technically the clanging is the spoon hitting the the sides of the glass bowl. Don't worry about that. That's way too tweaky. All right, but what's cool here, though, is now... Got that. We see a tie, cool. Now I'm really geeking out. We're gonna see the hand. Oh yeah, and then now, yeah. Now, where was that overhead shot of the bowl? Yeah. Okay, wait, I didn't go in. There we go. Cool. So we've got that. Now what I want to do, I want to look at this shot. Where is her hand at the end? So her hand at the end is roughly here. In terms of this square frame, it's on this side, the right side. So I need her hand in this shot to be somewhere here. It's a bit higher of an angle, a different angle where it doesn't have to be dead accurate, if you will, but just on the same side of the frame. Her fingers here, her hands out of frame, so this is going to cut like butter.
Just trying to make sure it's mixed well so I don't see like any.
Yeah, and I want to bring her audio underneath here.
Of the sour cream.
I'm gonna end for you guys on sour cream so she finishes her thought.
Sour cream just kind of on its own. Sour cream.
All right. I think that's the end of sour cream.
Sour cream.
I'm gonna zoom in on this. A little bit of audio editing for you guys. If I hang on the back of the clip, I believe Premiere can do this, not 100% sure. It's gonna dissolve the end of that clip.
Sour cream.
Yeah, and I can too get a couple of frames out of there for the Emin cream.
Sour cream.
I may be able to get a couple more.
Sour cream.
Yeah, cream. There's the pause in words, and she's going to begin to talk again, so I'm going to back that up a little bit. I'm just showing you that to show you that. This by no means is expected of you.
Sour cream.
Cool. All right. So again, I'm just showing you that to show you that. Don't worry about that. All right. Where are we at now? We're here. So we've got sour cream, cilantro sauce. Let's go to plating, because we can. And we're going to make this short. Oh, look at that shot that I never liked. Yeah, we see that again. That's nice. All right, I've got other shots I can use, and if I had more time, well, we're here. All right, yeah, we'll go back to that because it's cool. All right.
Sour cream.
Yeah, rock on. All right. Now let's go to plating. We've got a second cutaway, we got a couple cutaways here. One. Oh, and I kind of go in to see if I can get a nice... Oh, that's a sharp focus. We're not going to use it, but I want you to see it played through here. That's a cool cutaway. Rock on. We need to go to plating. I don't care about this. Is the tomato chutney going in? I don't care. Other really cool shots. The rice. Again, if this were a minute, 15 minute, 30 package, I need all of this stuff. So far, we have edited a 38-second sequence. You see that here on my timeline and also here in my viewer. I want to jump to plating because we got to end this thing. All right. Ooh, good. Even more cutaways of dawn and a little bit wider. Very cool. Let's see here. Yeah, oh, the pot handle shot. Pot handle, and then she just is it. Whoa. we jumped back there. And just like out of central casting, puts her hand down on it, and then, yeah, oh, that's cool. All right, I can't help myself. Ay, but I want her hand coming down on it. Yeah, we want to go tight and wide, because if we went from here in her hand there to her hand here, we see both of her hands in this shot. One's stirring, one's holding onto the pot. This shot would not work coming after this, so we gotta go. I mean, that's really tight. It's kind of a medium, but because it's such a low angle and so close to the pot, I would call that a tight shot any day of the week. So we're there. Oh, but the spatula's still inside the pot. Oh, so Andrew can't have his movie magic. Can he? Ooh. Let's find out. Where is the spatula at the end of this? Right side. All right. If we bring this here, does this cut? I'm watching it again. Yeah, it does, but it's also too kind of distracting when your hand, because it's almost on the pot. Like, it doesn't matter that the motion's there. So what we're gonna do, spatula's on the right there. That's where we're gonna start this, and her hand will already be on the pot. It's already a cool angle. It's already a really cool shot without the movement. So I can live with that, and I certainly have many, many days. Really, really happy that we got some creative shots in this piece. Cool. Now we're really going to do plating here. Scroll down all the way to the end, past the dishwasher, past these other cutaways, and past this. And there's the rice. And there's this. And how did this work? Ooh. Hang on here. Andrew may not be able to do what Andrew wants to do. Ah, the rice is already on the plate. Okay. So Andrew needs to think here. We have rice coming out of the pot. We're just going to put it on the timeline to put it on the timeline. We've got rice. Oof, that's a shaky shot. That's rough. We'll see if we can save that in the edit in a second here. And then the rest of this. Yeah. Well, actually, we could use that shot too, and I'll explain how. All right, I'm scrolling here to see if there's any more shots of Dawn. And there's not, but that's okay, because we've got shots of Dawn up here, stirring and things. So we've definitely got her. I just have to find her. Where did you go? Okay, what are you doing here?
That's kind of fast.
Okay. She's scooping there. Well, she's not scooping. Technically, she's stirring, but can probably make it look like a scoop. Wait, where did she go? Ah, she's over here now. Swinging you back to where I need you. All right, I'm going to turn her audio down. Boom. All right, hang on here. This is silliness, because here's what this is going to look like. Let me show you the wrong way to do it. We're going to go from pot to Dawn. You're going to think, oh, she's stirring the meat. And you should think that, because that's what we showed you. But then, oh, we're in rice now. Which, in terms of visually, shot cuts clean. Medium, lower angle, hand level, higher angle, and a little bit of a lower angle pitch. We're looking up at Dawn to, again, a medium shot of a pot and food. Visually, cuts clean. In terms of storytelling, I'm surprising you. We go from cooking meat to all of a sudden completely cooked rice. So, to make this happen, we need the cutaways of the recipe that we got. which is why you want to always shoot 5 cutaways. You may not use them all, but when you need them, they're really good. Cool, cool. All right. I know I'm going really quick here. Let's see if that works. I need the rice to go out of frame. Or it's coming over the pot. That works too. Because we see that the rice is on the move, as silly as that sounds. Oh, that is horrible. And that's the cut's good, but this shot, yeah, ay. All right, that didn't work. And there's nothing here in editing that makes that shot less horrible. Nothing that improves that. We're actually going to take that out of the timeline, and we're going to cut to this shot. Cool. And what's awesome here is because the rice comes into the frame, it's out of frame, comes into frame, we're going to have matched action, and we can shorten this shot. We don't need to, but we could. Boom, coming up and over. Yeah, though, let me show you this. Because as soon as she picks the rice up, we can shorten that shot, rice up and over, and that is how you change from a slower pace to a quicker pace with those two shots. This is the much quicker pace. And we got to be able to make that quicker because the rice is in the shot. We're gonna show it starting to move out of frame. In the shot we're cutting to, it is out of frame. Show it coming in. The human eye, the way we think, we believe that. That is totally believable. Awesome. All right. Woo. That was a bit longer of a road than I thought we'd take to get there, but we're there. So, then there is the meat and then the cilantro sauce being poured on. So, whoa, and I have scrolled too far. We want, where does she pick up the whole pan? Here. Oh, cool. I've got my focus there. What is Andrew doing? Oh. Yeah, okay, I know what I'm doing. I'm staying here for the meat and the carrots to come into frame, and that was just so weak. Meaning the pour, not me. This is really good. All right. So, when I shoot video, I really am thinking, I promise you, of how all of these shots can sequence. As much thinking as I'm doing. And you can see in this raw, I've done a lot. When I go to edit, some things just may not work right just because of the way I shot it. This is a great shot. It's, you know, as the kids say, it's money. In the way that I've edited this here, it's a jump cut because we're going to go from uncovered rice to magically covered rice, and that doesn't work. So we need a shot in between here. And the question is, do I have a stable shot that's long enough of her scooping meat out? Got that. I mean, I'm gonna try to do that just to show you guys if a shot can be saved. If not, what we're gonna do is we're gonna scroll more in this raw and see what we got. Got that. But I also don't like either. Is it this spatula? I mean, it technically leaves the frame, so that's good. But I don't like that it's in the pot, but I'm gonna live with it. Okay. The trick here is to cut this shot to end it before we see real shake, and that happens there. And you kind of see the shot jump. It's starting to move. We want to do that. And let's just see what happens. Okay, this part definitely cuts. Question is... Yeah, again, if I was under deadline, I could live with it. Because it's reasonable that there were 2 spatulas, one for meat and one for rice. And there might have actually been. I haven't been watching Dawn's Raw with that kind of detail. But yeah, ooh, or... So we would go from here. Dun, 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 dun. Spatula's coming out. Where did it go? Hang on, I just saw a shot that I wanted to use. Yes, here it is. I don't like it because there's already lots of meat on both those plates. Yeah, in terms of the food shots, that's the best we can do. Do we happen to have... And here's what I don't want to do. It's silliness for me to cut away all of a sudden to this. Though, wait a minute. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'll show you why here. Cool. I can between the rice and something new. Cool. We're going to lay that here. Because it was, oh, I plated the rice. Now what do? I don't know. Let's put the meat in. I'm following directions. Yes. Yes, I do know the ways of the Force. Cool. The reason why I'm keeping her hand this whole motion in here is, and I'll go slow here. So spatula, we're assuming her right hand is moving the spatula. Also to her left hand's holding the plate. Yay. Different shot. And it's okay because it's a different angle. You're looking at something different. And the spatula moves out of the frame. Here's her hand. It's moving. It's out of there. And then now we can see that. And even if we wanted to, if we wanted to really make sure everything in this shot is clean, we can just take her hand out. Please be steady, please be steady, please be steady. Don't bring your hand in there. I don't want your hand in there. Taking there. Cool. Her hand's no longer in that portion of that shot. We're gonna turn her audio down. It doesn't matter there. Now, this cuts like butter. Or another way to say that silly phrase is cuts like cake. You guys will hear really serious photographers when they get excited. They'll say cut like cake. Alrighty. At this point, reviewing here. Oh, the cilantro sauce. Then we can see the completed plate. So what do we got? We got a tie to that moving. With the cilantro sauce, we can do anything now. Because this shot is so tight and it ends without Dawn's hands, we can cut to any part of the sauce pouring we want. Which is very convenient when you're editing. So she's stirring. I want her scooping. Does she scoop? She's more of a pourer than a scooper here. So we're above it. Oh my gosh. All right. So, this is not going to cut clean, but we're going to review it just to make sure. Low tight, yeah. Ew. It's kind of weird. It's not quite wide enough, far back enough to where that jump is actually going to be okay. So we need a shot to separate that. Or, what if we did this? That's not going to cut. It's a cool shot. It just doesn't sequence well. All right, Dawn. I need more shots of you. Where are you? Where are you up against the wall? What are you doing? Man, we are going way back here to make this work. Yeah, she's clearly... But... She's looking over... This may not work, because technically, like, she's working on the rice, the lid's here. Oh, but the question is, does it come quick enough? Can I get away with the edit? Yeah. I think I can. Yeah. It's not the cleanest cut in town, but it works. Cool. All right. And let me see here. Did we have a shot comparison of the two? We've got this, which is good. But do we have... Oh, I'm way too far up. All right. The dishwasher. Yeah. Gee, does it look like the poster?
Yeah, maybe. Like put it in one of those piping bags or something.
Yeah, she's asking me how the picture looks so good compared to her. And it was just... She poured it. In the picture, it's done with a spray bottle, or they use the spoon to have a little bit of a chefy splatter technique. Yeah.
Instead of just pouring it on top like I did.
Andrew needs to be stable in this shot and not be talking to Dawn, because very little of that is... Well, that's... Okay, that's stable.
Like put it in one
All
of
right.
those piping bags or something.
All right. Bring her audio down. What does this look like? That does not cut at all. It's a jump cut. We're pouring. There's a bowl in the air. Where'd the bowl go? Why is she holding this? We're not even doing that. Okay. We're ending on this. It's close to completion. Like, we're watching the sauce being poured on. We don't need a product shot for this particular sequence. So, all right, this sequence is total tally here, 58 seconds, so just under a minute. Let's watch it again in real time. And you two here as I tighten up this whole timeline. Don't worry about that. You're going to be able to see this roll down here. You'll see all the cuts, and you'll see them live here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close lots of these windows for you. Again, don't worry about what these are. I just want you guys to be able to see all the different cuts, and you'll be able to see most of them here. So I'm going to bring this down so the timeline's there at the bottom. I want to come here and hit fit in the viewer. Premiere Pro should have this setting in there too, to where it automatically scales to where you can see it in the fullest view possible. Come back here, and now we're just gonna let this play. Great time to double check to see if there's any mistakes I made that I didn't see the first time.
Today we're making beef over curry spiced rice with creamy cilantro sauce. Convenient to have to do this over a So this is 67 minutes for this. And here. So does it say all of it? Just trying to make sure it's mixed well so I don't see like any of the sour cream. I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, that is really cool. So that is how you make a wide, medium, and tight sequence. Obviously, we did a lot of mini sequences in this, if you will, but that shows you exactly how I deal with my RAW every single day on every shoot.